Mary, the mother of Jesus, is revered throughout the world as a symbol of love and unwavering faith. But there is a mystery surrounding her life that very few know. How did the Virgin Mary die? The Bible does not explicitly tell us about her earthly end, leaving a space full of curiosity and fascination. Today we will take you to discover a hidden secret about Mary that not everyone knows, a truth that official tradition often glosses over. Get ready to discover an extraordinary and touching story. Before I reveal this truth to you, subscribe to the channel. Together we will take a journey in faith that will surprise you. The figure of Mary, since the moment of the Annunciation, has represented an unshakable faith and absolute obedience to the divine plan. Her yes to God changed the history of humanity. But what many ignore is that Mary lived until her last breath with the same inner strength that accompanied her throughout her life. Present at the foot of the cross, she witnessed with unspeakable pain the sacrifice of her son Jesus, accepting the divine plan even in the moment of greatest suffering. This image of Mary, a suffering mother but steadfast in faith, is a symbol that has spanned the centuries. After the death of Jesus, her mission did not end. Mary continued to appear at different moments in history, transmitting messages of peace, hope, and conversion. Her apparitions, such as those of Fatima, Lourdes, and Guadalupe, have touched the hearts of millions of believers, who still today seek comfort and guidance in her maternal figure. In Fatima, in 1917, 3 shepherd children witnessed a series of incredible visions. Mary appeared to them with an urgent message, prayer, penance, and conversion to avoid great world disasters. This culminated in the famous miracle of the sun, witnessed by thousands of people, which remains today one of the most extraordinary events in modern religious history. In Lourdes, in 1858, a young girl named Bernadette Soubirous saw Mary, who showed her a miraculous spring of water. This spring is still considered a place of spiritual and physical healing, where thousands of pilgrims go in search of comfort. Lourdes is the place where suffering and hope meet, a living symbol of Mary's presence in the lives of the faithful. But perhaps one of the most extraordinary apparitions is that of Guadalupe, which took place in Mexico in 1631. Mary appeared to the indigenous Juan Diego, and as a sign of her visit, she made roses bloom in the middle of winter, leaving her image miraculously imprinted on the devotee's cloak. This cloak, still preserved today in the Basilica of Guadalupe, is venerated by millions of people, becoming a symbol of Mary's maternal intervention in human events. These apparitions are not just isolated miraculous events, but moments in which Mary has shown herself as a present mother, who intercedes for her children and guides them on their spiritual journey. No matter where we are in the world or at what moment in history, Mary has always been close to us, especially in times of crisis and need. It is this eternal bond between Mary and humanity that makes her figure so powerful and reassuring for the faithful. If this story is touching you, leave us a like and share in the comments what you think of these apparitions. Which of these moves you the most? Write your prayer to Mary in the comments. But now we come to the great mystery surrounding the end of Mary's earthly life. How did the Virgin Mary die? Or perhaps we should ask ourselves, did she really die? This aspect of her existence remains one of the most fascinating and discussed mysteries. The Catholic Church teaches that Mary was assumed into heaven, body and soul, an extraordinary event unparalleled in human history. This dogma, officially proclaimed in 1950 by Pope Pius XII, tells us that Mary did not experience the corruption of the body, like all mortals. However, the Bible does not provide explicit details about her death, leaving room for legends, traditions, and theories that further enrich this mystery. The lack of a specific biblical account has left the door open to centuries of reflection and interpretation. Some scholars believe that the Assumption was a unique and unrepeatable event, but others wonder whether Mary experienced physical death like every human being before being assumed into heaven. And if so, how did it happen? There is another fascinating tradition, that of the Dormition of Mary, which is particularly venerated in the Orthodox Church. According to this belief, Mary did not die in a strict sense, but fell asleep before being taken to heaven. The apostles, miraculously transported to Jerusalem, found her tomb empty, a sign of her assumption into heaven. This story, full of meaning, represents Mary as a figure above death, a mother who crosses the border between earthly life and heavenly glory with a unique grace and serenity. But the mystery does not end there. There are also apocryphal texts, such as the Transitus Mariae, which offer an even different version of the end of the Virgin Mary. According to these stories, Mary would have experienced physical death, but after 3 days, her body would have been assumed into heaven in a glorious event, similar to the resurrection of Jesus. These stories, which have been circulating for centuries, raise a fascinating question: which version represents the truth? Or are they all fragments of the same spiritual truth? Leave your prayer in the comments and share with us what the end of Mary's life means to you. What is your opinion on this fascinating mystery? Some believe that the mystery of Mary's death was purposely left obscure to invite reflection and faith. After all, her life was a continual act of trust in God's plan, even when she didn't understand every detail. Perhaps in not knowing exactly what happened in her final moments, we are asked to do the same, to accept the mystery with faith, knowing that God has a perfect plan for each of us. The Assumption or Dormition of Mary reminds us that her life, like her death, is a symbol of eternal hope. Mary is the sign that God does not abandon those who love and serve with faith. Whether you believe in the Assumption or the Dormition, what matters is the message that Mary leaves us: eternal life awaits all of us if we follow her example of love and obedience to God. Share this video to spread this knowledge with your friends and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on our content. May Mary watch over us all and accompany us on our journey to eternal life. May her intercession guide us every day, as a mother guides her children, through faith, hope and love.